Welcome back, welcome back. We're doing a little shadow room session. Trying to get myself over this sadness of the world. And actually trying to take the new road of just watching it burn down. And, trying to being a good man in the process. And, just because we opt out of things and whatever doesn't mean you have the right to fucking be sinister or you should be depressed. I mean, it's gonna be kind of hard, but at least we have like the world to laugh at.
One thing that
No, I seriously think about this every single day, and I'm sorry if I sound stupid. If somebody has $500 and they've already paid taxes on it, and they give it to me, so now just because it goes from them to me, I also have to pay taxes on it, even though they just did. And then not only that, but anytime I spend one of those $500, I'm going to also pay another tax fee on whatever item I'm buying. And then whoever I bought the item from will have to pay taxes on the money they just earned from what I bought. So every single dollar...
That's right.
Just forget it.
Good for you. Just 100 years ago, we would go to war for a government to tax us. Today we say, yes, sir. Here's my tax money on everything. We don't question it anymore. Keep questioning. Whoever this girl is, keep questioning. I like the direction you're going.
No, I seriously think about...
Does that make sense to you? It doesn't to me. It's bullshit.
one thing
You're not.
Why don't you ever talk about the men that don't pay child support?
Because it's women like you who spread your legs for guys like that. Why don't you ever talk about the responsibility of women who choose irresponsible males to...
This is Tom Likas, the white Kevin Samuels, from 20 years ago, before Kevin Samuels ever came out.
to procreate with, and then complain later when they're irresponsible.
Why don't you ever talk about the men that don't pay child support?
Because it's women like you who spread your legs for guys like that. Why don't you ever talk about the responsibility of women who choose irresponsible males to procreate with and then complain later when they're irresponsible?
No.
The women who have a one-nighter with a bartender or a guy on a motorcycle or a musician, and then you complain later on the guy's a deadbeat. He was a deadbeat to begin with.
Why nobody could ever talk to you because you don't let any...
People talk to me all day long. You can't talk to me.
No, I'm trying to talk to you and you're talking over...
Dear, don't tell me how to do a radio show. I've been doing this for 25 years. I don't need your help.
So, if he stopped doing radio about 20 years ago, almost 15 years ago, I don't even know how long ago, but it was a long time. And he was doing it for 25 years. Can you say about like 30 years this epidemic of fucking craziness on relationships just don't work for some reason? The reason is men are too broke and we're lazy, and women are having too much sex and we don't want to raise other niggas' kids. It seems like that's the number one complaint that I hear online, and with women is you're not charming enough. You need to get in the gym and you need to know how to talk to me about the space and the stars and you need to be romantic, and you gotta get your bread right, dog. I need to live in luxury. And hey, if that's what you choose, that's what's up. And then men, we want loyal women that don't leave us and take what little bit we have. Seeing that, most of us don't have a lot. So, I don't know. But on the bad side of men, we want women that never say no and have sex whenever we want. And that's kind of hard if you're older as a man, because then you're going to get with an older woman. And a lot of older women don't really like having sex all the time unless you're really that dude. If you're really hot and shit and you're her type, she gets moist.
Okay, can I please just say this? I was married once before, okay?
Mm-hmm.
My husband and I had a child together.
Right.
After I was tired of him beating me for 2 years, I left him.
Really? But why did you tolerate it for 2 years?
See, women, that trick used to work back in the day, and you'd be able to shame men all the time and be like, well, he was beating me for 2 years, he was abusive for 5 years, and the logical question to that is, you keep saying you're a grown-up your whole life. You keep saying, treat me like an adult. Adults don't let things like that happen for that long. Things happen to adults, but you know, how many times you got to get hit before you realize that he's an abuser? How many years of him not having a steady job before you go, alright, it actually takes a long time for a man to get these things. So if he's not even fucking working, you know, like, when do you stop blaming the man for being exactly what he is and showing you, and take the responsibility and say, before 3 years and a kid come out of this, I'm not favoring the men. I can feel one of you getting mad now. I'm saying we're all stupid and we're all playing games, and you know, we're all in a fantasy, and we're all gonna share in the results of it.
Tell me why you tolerated being beaten for 2 years. I'd like to hear about this.
My answer to that is because I was young and stupid.
Okay.
Isn't that why men usually say you should have a fucking man telling you what to do when you're younger? Because you're young, which means you're stupid because you lack experience. Maybe that's why the Bible and all the old things and stuff used to have men pick your husband for you, because you want to be young and married, right? Well, maybe not now. Before, women used to want to be fucking young and married. So that would mean automatically, if you're young and married, you're stupid because you don't have experience. So you would have to have adults with experience help you, guide you, you know, because that marrying you off shit, fuck that shit, you're free. Okay? Like, I don't, you know, that back in the day shit seems a little weird to me, even though it worked. And, you know, it's unfair to women on a level of, oh, I don't get to pick the fucking man I want. Do you understand what that means for men? That means men that are not successful don't get pussy no more. There is no more dating. You do understand that, right? That means you'll never be put in front of a bozo guy again. Will he be attractive in the way you want? Who gives a fuck? He's gonna take care of you. But all the hot bozos that you may take a chance on and, you know, fuck your life up with, they're automatically excluded because, you know, your mom and dad are not going to pick them. Which thus saves you years of mistakes. But I get it. You know, I'm a person too. If someone just picks somebody for me, and me learning about all these movies and fantasies of love and how great it feels, you know, I'd probably be kind of, even as a man, I'd be a little bit mad, you know? Maybe. I don't know. I really don't know, because I didn't live that life, so I can't say I would love it. But if it goes to back in the day, women still have the advantage because, you know, men don't marry their daughters off to broke men or beaters. You get it? The thing you want. But men know solid men. A man's not going to be like, all right, he looks like he has a big dick and a good smile. I want that for my daughter. No, he's going to be like, this dude is average looking. I hear things about him. He doesn't have a reputation, so I want my daughter for him. That guy's not the coolest guy, so that automatically means when you want the cool guy, you get it? You see how it's, no one ever gets everything, no matter what time we're in, no matter how we choose to live life, and we're all finding that out a lot now, and unfortunately the old way resulted in most of us not dying alone, so it may not have been perfect, but, you know, at least, you know, look at the old people.
You're done.
Yes?
over 75 million monthly Tubi viewers.
Certified.
This is an interesting conversation. Watch this.
To apologize. You said, I'm from Africa. You are surprised that we from Africa worship a white man.
Yes.
And I said, you Muslims colonize many countries and you impose Islam and a god from Arabia on those countries that you went. Allah was not known in Africa. Was known only in Arabia because Arabic language, right? The Jews never mention Allah in all their books. The best you can get close to is Allah, which is not the same anyway. So the name Allah is not known by any of the previous prophets. It's a new name. According to the Torah, we don't need to follow a God that is not known by our forefathers. Now, for you to say we Africans worship a white man, it shows you are ignorant. Why I'm saying you are ignorant, respectfully, is because this is not from Europe. It's from Israel. They are not white people. The fact that some idiots make a picture of a white man and they bow is against the Bible. So you don't call them Christians and you don't impose that on me. You don't know me from anywhere and you say I'm worshiping a white man. That's why I said I was offended.
If you like Daily Christian.
That's crazy that African people figured out the mystery of, you didn't write the Bible, and all I gotta do is read it and see that, it says he's a black guy. And you're not gonna trick me, even though certain people live in Israel, you're not gonna trick me. You can't trick me anymore. We worship the black Christ, like the book says to. And, the trick of trying to make black people join y'all stuff, any religion, that shit ain't gonna work no more. Because we figured out the trick of the Bible. And once we see ourselves in it, you can't trick us to say, the Bible's not real. Why did they hide that black men are in it? See, that's the one trick that we're always gonna realize and be like, you don't lie about something and have people thinking a man is white and, train your brain not to read the book to see what he really is. See, you don't spend hundreds of years doing that to people and then everyone really have the same book and can read it for themselves. We're not dumb anymore. Do you get it? You're not going to trick us to go follow something else. You get it? Just stop. Because if you want to get technical, my book says that your only existence relies on Abraham, a black man. And the only reason you're alive to have your book is because he gave birth to Ishmael. So, I wonder if I can find in your book omitting, listen to the fucking black prophets. They're not lying. If I can go in that Quran and see you say listen to us, but you're telling me that I'm listening to a white man, that's kind of ironic, isn't it? Isn't that weird? That you don't know that the trick? How is it that you don't know the trick? You know what I mean? You keep trying to say, black man, you dumb. Well, we know how to read now, and we read the books, and the books, we're not saying it's our mind. We're saying that's what the book says. And that's what your book says. That you're the cousins of the real ones. So you're our cousin, and your book says fight against evil, and your book says, well, I'm not sure because I don't read it too much, but like I brought up a bunch of, I've shown things on my own channel, and where it literally says these things. So, oh yeah, I forgot. Our book says that a whole bunch of people confederate together to erase our memory. I forgot about that part.
Interesting conversation.
These modern women nowadays be like, oh, if you can do it, I'm gonna do it too. And they get even.
I'm too good to treat myself like a hoe. I'm too much of a classy woman. I'm too clean. I value myself too much, and I think too much of myself to reduce myself to somebody's little secret. Who actually is
That's real shit.
Good enough for me to reduce myself to be in his side hoe. I'm not ever gonna do it. And then thinking you're gonna leave him and the grass is gonna be greener on the other side. I had countless friends who done divorced their wife because of issues or divorced their husband because of issues that they had. Now they with a new spouse, like, why didn't nobody tell me that marriage problems everywhere? And so I was like, hey, the grass ain't actually greener. Exactly. So you go meet them and everything that he didn't do, they became that, and everything that was wonderful about him, they don't have it. Now I got the same problem. I couldn't do that because I was like, this is a very premeditated, thought out, planned out, and at the core of who I am, even on my bad day, I cannot do that.
These modern women nowadays be like, oh, if you can do it.
Drake. Like, I don't know why they keep on saying the rich own nothing but control everything. But hold on. When I research entity, and when you research entity, it's gonna say I'm an entity, you an entity. But hold on. When I go buy LLC, it's considered as an entity. So Social Security. Like, I don't know why they keep on saying.
For those that get it, they get it. For those that get it and don't know how to go about it, hey, fuck it. At least you know that. At least you know, right? You can't do nothing with the information, but hey, you know. Life is so unfair.
Doing Belfer squats by accident. Wait for it.
Alright, let's get on with the show. We only got a couple minutes left. Well, 15, 14. I guess I'm in the shadows, you know what I mean? That dark night of the souls thing everybody talks about, you know? I think I'm in there again. And it's real weird because what put me into the dark shadow realm is things I already seen and already fucking know. And it's like, because I understand it now, it's the level of awareness and the time. Like when I first read about these things of Japan population declining and Europe and all of these things, I was learning about my people being the way they are, and women not wanting men, and all these things all at once. And when you start learning all these things, you start seeing the future. You're like, yo, this can't be stopped. It cannot be stopped. Like, people's minds have been set. Like, people are set on fake reality. Most people will not settle for a regular person, sound of horns, and if they do, there's always something that we can find wrong in that person. So, since we all got brought up in a time of not accepting people for not being perfect, or whatever the case may be, well, another reality that I'm realizing is the parent thing. Having parents is very crucial, and I'm not talking about people that raise you. I'm talking about actual parents that lived life and said, oh shit, these problems happen. So I'm going to get my kid ready for it by talking to them and getting them ready for the most important things that I know they're going to have to worry about when they get older, because they're a person just like me. Parents didn't do that anymore. They forgot to do that. Or they don't know it. I don't care anymore about how or why we're here. I'm coming to the acknowledgement of, you're just not good enough. There's always a problem. There's always something. You know what I'm saying? And even if there's not a problem with actually dating or whatever, and there are eligible people out there, we're all like, well, maybe not you guys. I don't want to speak for you. I've noticed none of us really leave the house. Nobody's really, it's not like you just go to well, you can go to single bars and single things, but it's saturated with predators, men and women. You know what I'm saying? Motherfuckers that know, some people are just bad like that. They ain't got nothing else to do. They opted out a long time ago. They got their heart broken, and they don't care. They're like, I'm just gonna have fun with the rest of my life. I mean, are they wrong for that? Someone destroyed their chance to be happy and broke their mind, and, you know, now it's their turn. It's the same thing as somebody saving your life, and then that person goes, well, now I want to save a life. You know? I guess I'm just trying to say is, good luck, gentlemen. I can't speak for the ladies, and I don't want to because I'm not a woman, and women still have an advantage, like, you know what I mean? Even if you's, don't get the husband and shit. See, a woman that wakes up to this reality of, I'm not gonna have a husband, and I'm more than likely probably not gonna have a kid, I'm too old, yous can always, you can just go and get a man. You can just go, you can at least have hot girl summer until the time runs out. The women that have money and stuff, yous can buy sex, period. Like, once yous get to that limit of dudes ain't calling you no more, like, why do you think they're legalizing prostitution and shit? Like, that's gonna be the new thing. Older women are gonna buy younger men, and because they know they can't have them, or now men are whores, it's gonna flip around where men are starting to realize, like, yo, why should I go to work when I could just gigolo for fucking like 8 old ladies that got bank? You know, she already knows she's never gonna have a kid. She already knows she's a woman that's not built for relationships. So she's not even gonna waste her time in trying to like do all this. Let me change. No, I'm not gonna change. I'm a fucking cunt. And I got cunt money, so I could be a cunt for the rest of my life. I don't care. The fuck. Just like old niggas that run around and do the same. I'm gonna be a dick, and I'm gonna pay young bitches, and I'm gonna chill, and I'm gonna do whatever I want. And then I'll eventually run into somebody about 10 years before I die. And then, you know, they'll pretend to love me for the last 10 years of my life. And I'll go out happy. See, a lot of people are doing that, and most people don't get it. I guess it's all about accepting what really is. I'm not saying I have the answers or I'm right about any of this. What I'm saying is, this is what's gonna happen on some type of level. Like, as I watch all these different women from across the world say these things, eventually the reality will set in with some women of it's over. There is no going back, and I still want contact. I still gotta have sex. I still want to go on a date. Even though I know I'm probably not going to even try to be with a man, the shit's too hard, or whatever the case that prevents us. You know? After a while, it's not going to matter anymore. And a lot of people are becoming very sad, I realize. I'm starting to see so many women crying, and other men laughing, and men crying, and men being upset. It's so weird to really be a part of this world right now. Really is. It's crazy to know that someone could be right around the corner from you and you could be happy, but you'll never meet this person. You're too busy. You work at this time, she works at that time. And then all these other people we see every day and flirt with and try, nothing ever happens, you know? At least that's what we like to think. At least that's what I like to think, you know? Somebody out there. There's always somebody out there for you. But you gotta find them. And then reality hits of everything is getting more expensive. Like, ever since this year started, I just keep watching everything rise up. And that deters me more and more from even wanting to have a kid. Like, I want to have a kid bad or whatever, but I'm like, yo, you can't afford it. Period. You cannot afford a kid and be with a woman and give all these things because you're already behind. So having a kid would destroy your life. It would put pressure on you to go get more work, and then you would work more, and then you would die earlier anyway, thus not even getting to raise your kid, thus not even getting to be with your wife. So you're leaving your wife and kid to this world, unprotected. What the fuck is the point in that? Because that's the life of good men. You're gonna work yourself to death. Go look at China. See things that they're not saying. See how men and women work 15 hours a day. Automatic. If you want to be in the upper class, middle class, not the upper class, you want to be in the middle class, you have to work 12 to 15 hours a day every single day. You know? That's almost half your fucking day. You're never going to see your family. You are never going to raise your kid. You're never going to be around your wife. So what happens when anybody's alone long enough? I don't care how good a woman is. And quite frankly, you know, even if she doesn't cheat or whatever, like, is that right to do that to a woman? Like, all right, I'm a good man now, and the world made it where I have to work all the time, and if I don't catch that last train, that's 5 hours I'm stuck there. So when I finally get home, I'll probably be, I'll be rested, but because I might sleep on the bus. But when I get there, you know what I mean? I'm tired. I work 12 hours. I have to sleep on the bus. I don't want to talk to you. I want to go to fucking sleep. I got to go wake up and do it all over again. So that leads to disconnect of talking because you never talk to the person. You're never around a fucking person. And then that friend at work that you always talk to, she becomes interesting because you get to talk to her all day long. She starts becoming more attractive because you get to see her all day long. She's the only person that you know. And then next thing you know, you're doing work relationship bullshits and all of this. And it's just so many things to block a regular relationship. And we all blame each other when it's the world. A man has to kill himself to get the things you want. If we kill ourselves and work too much, we can't have time to be around you. Thus, naturally you're gonna want to fucking be with another man. God forbid if other men are flirting with you. Technology, Instagram, everywhere, walking outside. So it's like almost an inevitability of it's not going to work unless you have a really, really understanding woman that's like, nah, man, I got it good. But I don't. What I would suggest is anybody that's doing good in a city-like structure, like now I understand the passport bros thing, but I see a default in it. See, they figured out if I go to another country where it's not modernized, then a woman will not be modernized in her brain. And then because I go there, my money's more, so I get to ball a little bit, and but they never count on the fact of, yeah, you're going to get that woman that's like that. If you bring her back here, it's only a matter of time before she adopts this world. Because it's all about awareness. See, the one in the Cambodian jungle, she's not aware she can do these things because there's no laws and men that'll lock you the fuck up for her. Once you bring her back to this world and she sees what she can do, she will have the choice to do it. Then, what are you going to have her by herself all the time? No, you're going to let her be free because you think, oh, well, she's not like the rest of them. Then she gets around the rest of them. And just like Satan and Eve, they whisper things. They talk about their life and how they got it. and how they can use the law to get it that way. And next thing you know, you got a problem. I'm not saying it's going to happen anytime, but it is the blatant truth. You could bring whoever you want over here. When they find out that I can take half your shit and all I got to do is pretend to like you, good. I'm going to take half his shit, and then I'm going to go back to my country where everything's double, and I'm going to take care of my family and shit off your dime. And go marry a Cambodian man. You know what I mean? Everything's a risk in this world. Because it's all about awareness. When people find out what they can do, if they have no morality, well, the fuck. They're going to do whatever the fuck they feel is right. And quite frankly, you know, I realize now marriage has to go back to the old ways of just a contract. It can't be about love no more. If you fall in love, that's what's up, but you can't marry a woman or a woman nowadays and really believe she's not. There's always a chance she's a Jezebel. There's always a chance that a better man will come along and be like, I want you and I'm going to be faithful to you. Just leave him. See, they don't have to cheat. Another man come along and be like, I want you and I'm better than him. And you know it. Sound the horns. So I started developing this reality of contracts. 5-year contracts, because most people can't do more than 5 years anyway.